Hello, everybody, and welcome into Friday night, May 3rd. I'm part of that echo because I was watching stuff earlier and forgot to turn the volume down. Now, my end of this fixed. Greg, did you fix yours? Home zombies. Is that what I put? Did I put it in there? No, I put Zoom homies. Uh, we have Greg, we have William, we have Rich. I do know it's 10:01, so I started at the normal time. And here comes Chris. Tony Wallow was first in chat tonight. And followed that, good evening, up with a $1.99 super chat. Thank you, Tony. And Chris is gone just like that. He's a lot like Bubba Gump, you know. He knows all there is to know, and then just like that, Chris was gone. Rick Lakes, $5 super chat contribution. Thank you, Rick. Here we go. Is this going to be successful, Chris?
Yes, I have to. I don't know. All the panels are black. No video shows. I have to log out and log back in. I don't know what does that for.
So when you log in, it shows all of the panels, Greg's, mine, Bill's, and Rich's as black?
Yep.
That is interesting. And what version of Zoom are you on? Did you update? There is a new update out.
Hold on a minute.
Should be 604.
Right, 6.0.4. John Williams says,
It's 6.0.0.
yeah, you're a couple versions behind. You might want to update it. I'm behind as well, but
It's supposed to be updating itself, but okay. I'll do that.
well, good point, Chris. Wait and see if it updates when you close out of it tonight. And if it doesn't, then I would go ahead and manually do it because that's what I'm going to do. When I leave tonight, if it doesn't update like it's supposed to, then I will manually update it because I have mine set up the same way. Now, Greg's comment showed up in chat, but it didn't show up in the thing that I used to highlight chat. Again, there's something weird going on with that. Been a busy Friday. I did a lot of work for Mrs. K today. We planted two different types. When I say we, me, planted two different types of flowers. I trimmed one shrub. This is going to be an interesting experiment. We trimmed a shrub down both in width and in height so that we could put one of the new clematis in front of it to see how that's going to look. It'll match the other side of the house. Boy, was that not fun. I've never seen so much rock and concrete and just general ickiness in soil in my life. To the point where when we covered up the bulb, I went to the other side of the house where there's good soil, dug a little hole, got me some good soil, and took it over and filled in the other hole. It was horrible. Hopefully that'll work. And then I planted gladiolas on the west side of the house. It's going to get a west sun, so we'll see how that goes. Remind me after we end the stream, I got to tell Mrs. K something. So Greg's thing is still not showing up. I don't know how to fix that because there's not a refresh button on that program that I use. Excuse
Well,
me.
that's just terrible.
I know it. It's horrible, actually. So as we were discussing earlier today, I'm going to reach out to Doug. Maybe he's watching. Maybe he'll join us and have some guidance on fixing this. My AdSense was declined again because it says my name does not match my tax records. I dug out my tax records. I resubmitted my tax records. I resubmitted everything that it said that I was supposed to, and it was still declined again today. 3:14 p.m. It was declined again today. So the money that I made in April is still sitting there in limbo, and it's not looking promising that it's going to get paid anytime soon. So hopefully, Abby Normal. There you guys go. It shows up. Greg shows up, says, I'm here. That's all that counts. And Jeff says, and Abby Normal from Las Vegas. You don't look like Abby. And you clearly don't look normal, so.
Well, but I'm Abby Normal, man.
That was a good movie.
The guy that was in Young Frankenstein, the guy that played the
Marty Feldman.
Marty. Yeah, Marty.
The his eyes
Yeah,
that were all buggled out and or boogled
and the
out.
hump went from side to side in the
Yeah,
movie.
yeah. Those were good movies. Young Frankenstein, Blazing
Blazing
Saddles.
Saddles.
Oh, what was the other one he did?
Well, there
The
was something about Rome, ancient Rome, something.
History of the World Part 1. Or was that Part 2?
I don't know, but there was a history of the world, and then there was the something day at the Forum or something. Was that, or was that
Oh,
just part of the history of the world skit?
possibly.
Mm-mm.
He also did a takeoff of English Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo, the movie that he
Okay.
depicted that, but I don't
Don't
remember
remember
any
all
of
of
it.
those.
No, no. Blazing Saddles, I remember. The other one I mentioned, I remember. I'm just getting old and cranky. Mrs. K and I were just talking about that, as a matter of fact. I
I
told her
think
it's
we
just her
saw.
perception.
I went to Canyon, Texas, which is not far from Amarillo, to see an army buddy. I'd just been out of the army a couple of years, and one of my buddies lived down there. And while I was there, we went to see, I think it was Young Frankenstein at a matinee,
Yeah,
and there were lots of school kids there. I mean, it was like, I don't know, summer or something.
right.
And it was just fun listening to the school kids. Some of this innuendo the kids caught and some they didn't,
Right, right.
And it was just
So Jeff's got your hand raised. It must have caught when you were moving your hand. It must have caught it.
oh,
Yeah, see, it's
you
catching mine
number
right.
one.
Yeah, it's catching mine too. So I'll go ahead and close that down. John says
got it.
that he did not cut his clematis down and it's growing like a weed. The one we have grows to a certain point and then it stops. Even though I added a thing for it to run higher up than it is, it gets to that where there's things are conjoined like this and it will not go any farther. She's thinking if we tie string down from the gutter to it, it might run along that. I don't know. Number one. Number two, I don't have a ladder, and if I did, I probably wouldn't get on it because I don't
Well,
like ladders.
I find one thing here that says clematis is a genus of about 380 species within the buttercup family.
Dang, got it. It's pretty. I've shared
Yeah,
pictures of the one we have.
apparently
Maybe
it's
it grows to a certain height and stops. I don't know. I hope the gladioles come up. I'm really hoping they do come up. Um,
Do you have any of what are they called? What are those early spring flowers? Not gladiolas, but
we have daylilies.
daylilies. Yeah, yeah. Just
Yep.
my boss in my first job raised a lot of daylilies. He was president of the East Tennessee Daylily Society, among other things. He was he he had crossbred certain species of the flower himself and a bunch of crap like that. He was really into the gardening thing.
I guess. I mean, I plant the seeds, and if they come up, cool. If they don't, cool. Um, I don't lose a
My
lot of
dad
sleep
had a
over
green
it.
thumb, and I used to help him with the garden growing up. But on my own, I have kind of a brown thumb. I've been known to kill cactus.
Yeah, we've got tulips. They've come and gone. We've got hostas. They are bushy and ready to bloom. Hopefully, they will pretty soon. Her roses are getting ready to bloom. In fact, if they don't bloom by this weekend, I'll be really surprised. And then we've got another set of flowers down our driveway that I have no idea what they are, but they're about this tall, but they're not blooming yet. There's no buds and there's no bloom, so I don't know what's going on with them. Yes, the background, in case anyone is interested.
Daffodil was what I was trying to think of.
I don't think we have
You,
daffodils.
we used to have a bunch in our yard back in Tennessee. And
Aren't daffodils and daylilies relatively close in looks?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
I don't either. That's why I was
Narcissus,
asking.
narcissus, daylilies. And
Greg,
jonquils.
you're the flower expert. Are daylilies and daffodils relatively close in appearance? Greg's gonna go. How the hell do I know?
Daylilies are spring to early summer, and they got big green leaves on it, and yellow or purple or white flowers.
I was thinking of daffodils when we were talking about the daylilies. My boss used to grow daylilies, but in our yard we had the daffodils, the yellow flowers that are about yay tall,
Yeah.
Yeah.
early spring flowers.
John Williams says, my neighbor threw some morning glory seeds over the fence and they overwhelmed. Yes, morning glories are actually, at one time, if still not, classified as a weed. And they are invasive and they will take over everything. Now, when we were in Vegas, we had a little patch of morning glories and we kept them confined to that little patch. We've got morning glory seeds, but I just don't have any place to plant them. I happen to like morning glories. I think they're kind of cool. I too have a semi-brown, semi-green thumb. Mrs. K is really good with stuff. What in the world? Oh, that's seeing that. Oh, that's because I moved the desk. I'm like, what is that white thing down there in the lower right-hand corner of my screen? And it's this bulb right here because I moved the desk in a little closer. I really have now a 3/4 semicircle. No, I'm not standing. I'm sitting. Not ever going to do a stream standing. Doggone legs won't support it. We got about 20 minutes of rain off and on today. Just enough that it was weird because it would rain enough that everything got wet. Sun would come out, the roads would dry up, driveways would dry up, grass, I don't know. And then about an hour later, it would rain again. So I flirted with going to play golf, but then I knew I had some work that needed to be done, and I went ahead and got that done today. Now I have the whole weekend to play golf. We'll see.
See, Lawn Dog says he's sending me some wind. And I looked up the local forecast, and it is supposed to be very windy here.
You can
Some
keep it.
storm from off the coast, I guess. I don't know.
I've seen enough wind to last me the rest of the year. On the trip west and coming back, there was and Tony will tell you too. There was enough wind. We were being moved all over the road in our CRV. The wind going to Vegas was really, really bad. We had about 5 motorcyclists that passed us, and then we passed 2 of them back because they just gave up. I mean, you could tell they literally just gave up. I would not have wanted to have been on a bike during that. It was bad enough in the CRV. Roses grow quite well. Yeah, of course they do. It's hot and it's sunny. The thing with roses is they take a ton of water. Long Dog put in there that roses grow quite well in the Desert Empire. Tim out of this world. One of the Tim says, "What's up? Miss us so much. We're here every night, Tim. Now that I'm back on vacation, this is my 142nd live stream. I finally got the crackpot staff to look into that, and I was shocked when I found out it's up to 142. Now, how I did that was I went to the studio, I went to live, I switched it to 50, and I went all the way back to January 1st. 2 pages of 50 is 100, and 42 on the third page is 142. So Bobby Warren says, "What's up?" We are doing the nightly thing, or what is considered the nightly thing. So
I've seen some nice roses here in Las Vegas, but you really got to work at it.
we have beautiful roses in Vegas, and yes, you do.
Roses, they will take water, but they don't like to stand in water, so to speak.
No, they don't. That is so true. We had beautiful rose bushes in Illinois. And
I've got a neighbor right at the entrance to our subdivision that has lovely roses.
If you put
Also,
the
a
time
very
in,
green grass yard. I mean, one of these you can tell he puts fertilizer on it. I don't know why
Right.
these guys fertilize their yards. This means you got to mow the damn grass.
Breaking news. I got to go to Walmart tomorrow. This is the last of the ice cream.
What kind of ice cream is that? Rocky Road?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we have to go to Walmart tomorrow as well. There's been some subtle little hints dropped, like we need to go to Walmart tomorrow. I'm like, for what? We just went to
Oh.
Walmart yesterday.
During your travels, did you guys buy any of that stuff that you had me get from Mrs. K that time?
She never mentioned it. In fact,
I can't remember what it was. I have it in your email someplace.
Moxie Peel number 3. In fact,
Okay.
while we were at the Island Pacific getting the Vietnamese food, I mentioned it to her and nothing, so I didn't worry about it. I'll figure we're going to make the 2-hour trip to Champaign here in about 2.5 months. And
Well, she really wanted to go to Champaign instead of getting it while you were here.
John says, I better check my calculator. It might need to be charged like my phone. I did it twice, John, because I actually didn't realize it was that many, and I thought something's got to be wrong. And I was making sure I was on the live tab. I uploaded, I think, 3 shorts today. 2 of them were kind of not anything important. Well, none of them are ever important. One of them was something I was trying to teach Mrs. K to do something, and she says, I got it. She ain't got it. And I demonstrated that in a short. And I forget what the third one was. Oh, the third one might have been something related to the Vietnamese food. I don't remember. I was concerned that I might be 12 days behind on live streams. My goal is to do at least 1 a day for the year. I don't want to do 700 live streams like I did last year. That's just way too many. And I wanted to do some shorts, and I've got shorts in the making right now. Oh, it was golf. It was putting lessons with me, if you can imagine that. I don't know if you've watched it or not. Just Mrs. K got behind me on a putt, and she actually followed the tracking of the ball and everything else, and it was close. I mean, you don't get no points for being close in golf. It has to drop in the doggone hole. So what a putt, yes. Similar, Tony, very similar. Tony says, what a putt. Very similar. Was tracking, and then right at the last 4 or 5 inches, it decided it was going to go to Vietnam. And what can you do? I mean, I hear Vietnam's real popular this time of year.
They say close counts in horseshoes, hand grenades, and nuclear bombs.
And probably that order as well. I haven't thrown horseshoes in a long time. Been a long, long time. So, I really don't have anything. We got 11 more minutes or so to kill. Has anybody got anything they want to discuss? Oh, wait, I got a question. Mr. Destiny?
Who's that?
Yeah, I'll listen to him, trying to be all humble and modest. What is your current level?
505.
Will you make 600 by the end of the season?
Probably more than likely you might even go past it.
I came this close today to starting Destiny. This close. I actually went to... No, I'm not starting Destiny. Long Dog wants to know if I've ever played long darts. I have played long darts, yes. Of course, long darts. What could be more dangerous than a bunch of alcoholics throwing darts at one another? I mean, please. I'm sorry. I should not say people were alcoholics. What could be more dangerous than a bunch of people drinking alcohol throwing darts at one another?
Do you have other things that they can throw or do other things with to each other?
I plead the Fifth Amendment on that. Rich, what level are you up to?
I think 150.
Not bad. You got such a late start on it. Sam, good to see you. I didn't hear you come in. I know the bell is set because I heard it when Chris came in. What level are you up to on Destiny?
I don't even know. I don't even keep track of that. I just play
right,
for fun. I think I'm around 160, 170 in that area.
Man.
Like I'm just not trying.
Long Dog says we played with the homemade tennis ball cannon.
and
right.
Honestly, I do not intend on continuing to play for very much longer. I don't know. Maybe I'll log in like once a week or something.
And when's the new season start? I know somebody said the other
June.
day. June? The
June,
first?
yeah,
June
sometime
1st?
in June.
Okay.
No, June 5th, I think it is.
Okay.
I'm
I
on-
may check it out.
I'm on level 1,344.
Jeez.
That's because, see, now that's the reason why you can't sleep at night. You're up playing Destiny. I knew you and Bill were getting together. I figured one time when I was logging out, you were logging in. I figured that was what was going on. So, anyway. Anybody heard from Darren since he started his holiday? Going to Greece, I believe he said. I'm taking that as a no.
Is he going to like Greece, or is he going to one of the islands?
He didn't say. I know he's going with his sister, but he didn't say exactly where they were going.
I imagine he's on one of the resort islands, but I could be wrong.
Could be pretty cool to do that. We talked again about the next big trip, which will be to the east. Well, actually, it'll be east and south, a little bit west, and then home. Once again, not going. Well, I guess we are going to go near the state of Arkansas on that trip because we're going to go Pennsylvania, New York, down the coast to Florida, up to Tennessee, Georgia. See, I can't make up my mind if I want to stop to see Chris on the way down to Florida or on the way back from Florida because that's one of those ones where it's like Vegas. I could do it either way. And when the time gets closer, I'll figure all that out. Jim says, bloody hell. Yep. Good old bloody hell. Hopefully he takes pictures. He kind of chuckled the other night when I said something about taking pictures, so I don't know if that means he's not going to or what. Hopefully he will. Sam, how's it going with your teaching that you're doing? Good.
It's good.
Now, is that just your daughter or is that both children?
It's just my daughter that I am teaching. My wife and father-in-law teach my son.
Well, my hat is off to you and your wife and father-in-law for undertaking teaching your children. That I could not do that. I don't have the patience.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. My brother-in-law's wife homeschools her grandson. Her son, the boy's father, is schizophrenic.
Mm.
And the mother, who has custody, I think officially, is not quite all there either. No official diagnosis. But
Right.
And the boy's doing quite well. I am impressed with these people who can actually homeschool and do it well. I couldn't. I don't have the
I know
temperament.
I couldn't. Yeah, I'll be the first to tell you. As soon as my little chat thing catches up, John Williams is asking a question. Hello, Daddy J. Good to see him. He's from the Philippines.
Okay, show of hands. He wanted show of hands. He didn't say which one.
Well, yeah, he said he actually who likes Android and who likes the iPhone. So, what Android, iPhone? I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, show of hands. Everybody, show your hand. We're all of our hands are going to pop up in the corner. You know that, right? And it still has not. I have an iPhone. I've had an iPhone for a very long time. We had Androids briefly, and by briefly, I think we had them about 2 days. It was when we lived in California. And it just wasn't working out, so we went back to the iPhone, and we've been with them since. Jeff, you have an Android, don't you?
Yeah, Android. I just have it's a Motorola, cheap, about $120 phone, does everything I need.
Sam, iPhone, Android. Neither? Android? Greg, we know yours is lost somewhere in La La Land. I meant the Humies.
Yeah, it's a flip phone.
John says
I don't
meant,
remember what we did with it. The first cell phone we had, I bought for my wife back in the days when she was still able to drive. And it was one of those that sat in the car on the seat beside you in a boot and had to be plugged into the cigarette lighter.
That's going back a couple days, isn't it?
It is. I mean, and
Yeah.
I don't remember what the hell we did with it when we got rid of it.
Yeah, Jim says his wife's Galaxy drives him crazy, and as much as he hates Apple, he'll stick with the iPhone. I don't have any issues with the phone whatsoever, and it's the only Apple product that I own, and I don't see changing anytime soon. Now, I may come across a hell of a good deal with an Android and have to switch.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's something I don't understand about my Android, though. I can't make it show here all the time. But all of a sudden, just a couple days ago, when it's, I don't know, in screensaver mode or whatever you call it on a phone, on the front now it shows a clock with hands.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't always there. And I do not know if I accidentally hit a button to start that thing showing up, or if I just got an update and it started doing it automatically, or what. I have no clue.
My money would be on the update.
Yeah.
That would be what I think. I have a similar issue, but not with the clock. Since the last update with iOS here, I get notifications from Costco, Menards, Lowe's, Home Depot. I got one tonight from somewhere I didn't recognize. And that was something I asked the professor about how I stop it. He had no clue. So what I did is I went into my Gmail and I unsubscribed from all of those things. They're still showing up, so I don't know if I've got to do it on
dog,
the phone.
I have done that, and I can't find anything in the screen settings. I'm not saying
Yep.
it's not there, but I've
The lock screen. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I spent
I
a
have
lot of
another.
time.
I actually have a computer problem. I may have to ask Doug about. My OneDrive will not log in on my old computer.
Huh.
I mean, the way it's set up, it just I installed the OneDrive app on the computer.
Jim is
And
asking
normally
me.
it just logs in automatically when I start up, and it's working fine on my new build. And I think it still works on my laptop, but it just stopped logging in on my old desktop.
Do you have any Visine?
Oh, I got hand lotion or something, and I accidentally rubbed my eye with it. You know.
I don't know what's worse, hand lotion or sweat.
Well, this
They
may be a
both hurt.
combination. Anyway, but I have done everything I can to try to figure it out. I can actually log in to OneDrive online from that computer,
Yeah.
but I just cannot get the app to work. So it synchronizes everything on that machine. But it's not a life or death thing. I just have the free storage. I don't know, it's like, 20 gigabytes or something like that I got free when Microsoft originally offered SkyDrive, as it was
Right.
originally called.
So Jeff is asking if I have the apps installed on my phone. I don't think I do, but I'll check them after I end the show.
But
I have no idea.
so I have uninstalled it and downloaded the latest OneDrive app and then reinstalled it. And when you try to log into it, it just sits there and spins its wheels, basically.
So maybe two homies will be on Doug's show tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure I'm going to ask him. What I got to do is write down all of the stuff I've tried. You know how Doug likes to
Right.
have every detail
Yep.
and all that sort of thing. And so, I don't
That
know.
I do.
I may not worry about it all that much. It still works on this machine, and I don't use it for much. I occasionally will upload something, to send to somebody else and let them access my OneDrive, but I can do that with Google Drive too. So
John
it's
has
not
a
like this is a
Samsung.
life or death thing, but it's just irritating to me that I haven't been able to figure it out myself yet.
Sure. John says, my Samsung J7 is to the point I need to replace it. He's had it for 6 years.
I had a Samsung J something years ago, and it was a piece of junk, to be honest with you.
Who's Jeff Fryman? We have Jeff Fryman. Have you ever come across the Windows where it lists every Microsoft computer tied to your Jeff Fryman? I don't think we have a Jeff
Yes,
Fryman.
well, I know
he
what
knows
you
I'm
mean,
messing
Long
with you.
Dog, but I only have 3 computers that might be tied to my Microsoft account. I don't use a Microsoft account to log into. I have a Microsoft account for email and OneDrive, and that's it. Now, I get notifications occasionally when I'm trying to log out on one of these computers said, wouldn't you like to log in with your Microsoft account next time?
Right.
And to which I say,
You
number
know-
one.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yep.
But I don't have 20 computers tied to the account, Lone Dog, so.
Remember this conversation as soon as we end the stream. Speaking of ending the stream, I want to thank everyone on YouTube. Tony Wallow, thank you for your I'm going to learn Vietnamese, by the way. I decided today I'm learning Vietnamese. I'm going to confuse the hell out of Doug, and he's not even going to know it. Thank you for the super chat of $1.99. Rick, thank you for your $5 super chat. Log Dog, Jim, thank you for being here. One of the Tims, just reach up there and pick a Tim, and it's going to be Tim Tech or Tim whatever. Bobby Warren, thank you. I'm doing all this from memory. I know I'm going to leave someone out, so if I do, send me an email. Let me know. Also want to thank the Zoom homies from the bottom of my heart who are here night in and night out religiously for the half hour that we're here. And then for sometimes 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and in Greg and William's cases, 2 or 3 days, or not Greg and, yeah. Good night. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Rich, Jeff, Sam, Chris. Thank you, guys. Long Dog, I'll catch up on your chat after I end the stream. I'm ending the stream right now.